Hi, welcome to Dan Talks Money. Today I'm going to be talking about how I've cleared my mortgage in just over 4 years, the logic behind it, the steps that I took, and the research that I did. No way am I a financial advisor, and I'm not saying that it was the right choice for me to make, paying off the mortgage early. But then thinking of it, could I have invested the money that I did into my mortgage and make back the profit that I would have made by paying off my mortgage early? Probably not. I'm talking over £15,000 I saved in interest alone, and that was just by making those consistent monthly payments, month after month after month after month. Of course, I did want to know how long it was going to take me and how much I was going to save. And how I did that was research. I did find a really good web page, Martin Lewis actually, and he has got a great tool on there for everyone to use. So you can have a little look yourself after you see my illustration of the amounts and the length of time that it took me to clear my mortgage. I'm not a financial advisor. I think I made the best choice by paying my excess money into the mortgage as opposed to placing it in a savings account or a stocks and shares ISA, crypto. I think that I made the right choice because now I have got financial freedom. And now I've started to invest in stock market and crypto. So when I decided that I was going to pay off my mortgage, I was in a position where I had one debt, and that was my mortgage. So it made absolute sense to clear that next. If I'd had debts, then obviously I would have focused on those first, then moving on to my mortgage. So I started off living in my current home on an interest-only mortgage, of which I was on for 13 years. It started off about £500 a month when I bought my property back in 2007. And then about a year or two later, there was the stock market crash where everything just went into meltdown, and so did interest rates, and boy, I saved. The mortgage, like £500 a month, which I was struggling to pay back then, like literally in the end down to £83. And I just went wild. All that free money, spend, I'll have this, But thinking back, I did nothing I can do, looking forward to the future. I wanted financial security. So when I met my husband, just over 5 years ago, we had to make the move to bring him over onto the property deeds. So at that point, we made a decision to move from the interest-only mortgage that I was on onto a repayment, and we was on there for, I'd say, maybe 3 or 4 months, and we realised that we had money that we could really afford to just throw at the mortgage to get it cleared, and that was our goal. We had our mind set in stone, the money was there, the ambition, the excitement of being mortgage free. So yeah, we did it. We broke down our finances, so we had our money for all the utilities. We had our disposable, which was for us still having a bit of a life, being able to go out and doing everything that everyone loves doing. And then we had the money that we didn't know what to do with, and it weren't going to earn us much in the bank, in a savings account. I went online, did a bit of research. Of course, I wanted to find out when I had the figure of how much we had spare, how long we was going to have to commit to the overpayments for, and how much reward I'd get from it, as in interest savings. So obviously I went on to Google, as you do, looked for mortgage overpayment calculators, and bang top of the list was Martin Lewis. So I clicked on his webpage, inputs a couple of figures, raised my eyebrows and thought, okay, let's show hubby. So off I trotted, give him a little look at the plan, how much we can save, and surprisingly for how little time it would take us to clear the mortgage. Now, just after my little chat here, the illustration will show you exactly how much we overpaid. It is an average because it did vary from month to month. Some months we would need a bit more money if we were renovating, and some months we would have a lot more spare. So it does average out. So the figures in there are an average, apart from our lump sum, which we initially put down when we moved from interest only over to repayment. So I hope you enjoy the illustration, and I hope you get some benefit, and it gives you a bit of food for thought, and I hope it shows you that it is realistic, and it shows you how much that you don't need to pay the bank, because that interest rate is dead money, and even the smallest amount, will cut years and pounds and pounds and pounds off the interest debt. So please enjoy. If you do like it, give me the old thumbs up. If you want to see more about what I did after the mortgage was cleared to save money, then please subscribe to my channel and have a great day. So I've Googled overpayment calculator and I've clicked on Mr. Martin Lewis. So if I enter my scenario, so my mortgage at the time was 87,500, and we placed that mortgage on repayment for 19 years. Now the interest rate at the end was 2.1% above the base rate, so we were paying 2.2 on the very last few months that we had a mortgage. So if I average it out at around 2.5 to allow for over the 4 years, ignore the date here, this is only an illustration of what happened with us. So we did do a one-off payment of 30,000, so 15,000 each, so we had saved. And then we did do a reoccurring overpayment. Averaged out, it worked out to be 600 per month. So it's that simple. So you just pop your mortgage debt at the top, how many years you've got left on your mortgage, what kind of mortgage you've got, interest only or repayment, your current interest rate. Obviously that could go up or down, but I always put your current one in, it just gives you a better outlook. If you are going to do a one-off payment, you can pop it in here, always helps bring down the balance, but if you can't, don't worry. Then your reoccurring overpayment, so you can put your amount in there, and then you can go to calculate. There you go. So this gives you the information you need, is how long would I have to pay into my mortgage for, and how much would I save on interest alone. So as you can see, overpaying would save you 18,947 in interest alone. Massive, massive. I mean, you pay the debt off in full 14 years and 3 months earlier. And then it goes on to describe how much you usually pay. So that should reflect how much you actually pay in now. And then you can keep going down, and it gives you the graph. Your mortgage debt over time. So just under 90,000. And if I hadn't made any overpayments, it would have come down this top line here. And it would have taken me the full 18 years. But because we put the lump sum on and we overpaid 600 every month, it was just bringing the mortgage down and down and down until we get to the bottom. So as you can see, you could save a fortune and gain financial freedom just by making a few simple overpayments. Now, you don't need to pay in that amount of money. You can pay in more, you can pay in less, whatever suits you. So if we have a look at another scenario, so I'll leave my mortgage debt the same. I'll leave the interest rate the same. But let's just say that I don't have the 30,000 upfront payment to make. And I can't really afford to just throw £600 at my mortgage. Let's say, for instance, I'm going to overpay by £200. Press calculate. So as you can see, with no one-off payments and just £200 extra going into my mortgage, I would have saved £8,110 in interest alone. And I would have cleared my mortgage 6 years and 6 months earlier. And again, you've got the graph. So you really can pay anything in, anything. Let's try a small amount. Let's do £60. So £60 extra every month. No overpayment. Calculate. So that's £60 now. Over the length of my mortgage would save me £3,265. Now I'd rather have that in the bank than not make any overpayment at all. So head over. You can use Martin Lewis, or you can have a look for a different calculator. They'd all more or less do the same thing, but I like the layout of this one. And obviously, if you do decide to make overpayments, you need to check to see whether there are any fees with your mortgage provider if you are paying over what they allow annually.